Hey everyone, Mico Rigunay here and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video and what better way to start it is to talk about what to prepare before heading to the recording studio. So if you're interested in more content like this and guitar and music like and everything, just hit the subscribe button below and let's get to it. Just a little background. I first started recording when I was 13 years old. I was with my high school band at the time and we recorded into this small studio space and it's quite funny. The experience was, I would say, bad. Yeah, but I think mostly because we did not know any of the recording side of it, the technical side of recording, and gosh, if there was tons of videos from how to record by then, that would help a lot. We didn't really prepare for it, so I'm trying to save you some precious studio time by giving you this guide, a little short guide, so you can just start recording and enjoying the process. Keep in mind though, this is not the law and this is not the Bible, and this is just a few tips from my experience and from other people's experience that will help your recording game a lot and save precious time and especially money when you're in the studio. So start with number one. First one that you should learn is learn to play with a metronome or a click, because it will help you play a lot more tighter and it will let you play in time with the band. I can speak for a lot of us that we really didn't play with a click when we were growing up. We were just jamming with our friends. I actually learned to play with a click quite late already. I was already in my 20s, I guess, when I started actually practicing with a click. Totally, if you're young, if you're just starting out, please play with a metronome, practice with a metronome, and try to figure out what the song's BPM as well. There are a lot of bands too that just figure out the BPM when they're in the recording studio already, so don't be that band. Yeah, and also rehearse with your band a lot. Rehearse with your band a lot. That means that get to play with the band, physically be there, not just in the bedroom, and figure out the parts together. Make sure that the parts are consistent, and it will definitely help if you got the parts down right. Everyone knows their parts. Everyone knows the dynamics of the song, the feel of the song, and everyone figures out the song. I think there shouldn't be any time for you guys to so that when you head into the recording studio, no more problems, no more trying to figure things out as a band, as the song itself. That would be so helpful. Second part would be is just make sure the song is fully arranged and fully prepared. By spending a lot of time with the band and rehearsing, you should be able to have a cohesive idea of what the song should be. Don't forget to discuss with the band if you want to add synths or special effects to your song, and try to figure out if anyone knows sound design with the band. You should be able to prepare it beforehand so you can just load it up in the project. And also, don't be shy to let other band members record the track or the part that you made. There shouldn't be any ego, and what's important is you make the best song or you produce the best song that you're confident of sharing to the world. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if I wrote the part, I should be the one who play it. Maybe your bandmate or your bassist or whatever can play the part better. So that's what's important, making a good song, right? Third part would be prepare your instrument. For your guitars, for bass, should be able to change your strings. No, the glow-in-the-dark bass strings that was installed 6 months ago, it won't work. Even if it's expensive, we should be able to change strings. It would definitely contribute to the tone of the song and the guitars and the parts that you make. It would help if you visit your local guitar luthier or any guy who knows how to set up your guitar properly. It should be intonated properly. You're very comfortable with action of your guitar, and if you're a drummer, you try to change the heads of your drums, use new sticks. And this is important. If you're unsure about the quality of your instrument, ask around if you have a friend that may have a better guitar than you, a properly set up guitar than you. Try to be honest with yourself and try to record a song with the best instrument as possible. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use your gear or whatever. If you're just not comfortable with using the instrument or you're not sure about the guitar tone that your instrument can use at the time, don't be shy to reach out. Also, it's important too to know if the recording studio has guitars, maybe you can just use that for your record and it will sound a lot better than what you currently have. Try to be honest with yourself, and what's important is you make the best sounding song possible. Alright, fourth on the list would be research for a good recording studio for your band to start recording in. There are quite a few factors in finding a good recording studio for your band. I try to consider first the aesthetic of your band, or what your genre do you think your band is in. I think that would be important because there will be a lot of studios who specializes in certain genres, and it's important that you try to find a studio who knows can produce the music in your head. For example, when I was starting to look for a recording studio for my band, I was actually looking for a more raw vibe instead of the metal-esque, very sterile, very clean recording. So I started to ask around, and my friends referred me. They referred me to Nick Lazaro in Labol's recording studio, and haven't looked back since in recording the songs in Something About Alexa. Second factor would be trying to get to know who is the sound engineer, the recording engineer, or producer in the studio. It will help a lot if you know or you can communicate with him or her properly, because it's really hard sometimes explain what are you going for in this part, or what kind of synth or what kind of ambience would you like this part to have, and trying to explain them in words can be really challenging. Can really be challenging. So make sure that you have at least a working relationship with them. In our case, I started talking to Nick, I think months even before we even headed to record the first song. And I tried to communicate with him. I tried to explain to him what I kind of want in our band. And of course, ask for insights from them, because as we are all starting, we really don't have any idea in the industry. Well, at least for us. So Nick's expertise about it really helped the band, I guess, have a head start for our plans. The third factor would be budget. I can speak again, a lot of us band people that we do not have that kind of a big budget to start recording our song, but we really do want to have the best song possible, the most bang for the buck, I'd say. And I think a lot here in Manila, at least, there's a lot of studios who offer per song packages. Usually includes 6 hours of tracking with mixing and mastering already included in it. Try to find the recording studio that meets all of the criteria that I just said. I think will give you a general idea where you should be heading for, what's suitable for your band at the time. And heading into the last point is just being professional and just enjoying the experience. Don't be late, don't be a rock star, don't drink and do crazy stuff while in the studio. Try to be friends, try to network with the engineer there, the producer there. Just enjoy the experience. Don't forget why you actually started to have a band, which is for us, was just to write songs and have fun. And that vibe should also translate into the studio. So there you go. That's a checklist for you to prepare before you head or before you record your song in the recording studio. Thank you for watching my first YouTube video. I'd like to know as well if you have any questions or topics that you want me to cover in another video, or just anything, just ask me below. And if you like the video, give it a like and a subscribe. It will really mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for visiting. My name is Mico Rigunay. See you later.